how to stop procrastinating for good. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple, easy method that you can do immediately to stop procrastinating. Why you should listen to me. My name is Sunny. I used to be obese. I used to be addicted to anime and watching videos all day with dreams of starting an online business and being fit. And I did both of those things. I lost over 80 pounds and I built a marketing agency before I built a software company, which actually helps with procrastination a little bit. It's part of what it does. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about procrastination, and it is such a massive problem right now. Like most of my friends, when I talk to them, that's the biggest issue on their minds. When I coach different people, it's usually a procrastination problem. It's not like I don't know what to do. Like most people who need to lose weight, they know that they should be going to the gym. They know that they should be eating less. Most people who want to switch careers or start an online business, like they have a vague idea of what they need to do. They know the actions, but they still don't do it. Now, there's lots of different advice on procrastination out there, and there's also a lot of discipline advice out there. Like they sort of blame you and just say, if you're not doing the work, just do it, right? Like just throw yourself at it. Just keep on forcing yourself to do it even if you don't feel like it. And I think there's a lot of good in that message, actually. I think there's a lot to building grit. It's something that for me right now, as I'm actively trying to work more and more hours, balancing, multiple businesses and different projects I'm on, there's a lot to grit and that sort of skill. But I don't think that that's the main problem for most people. I think that we need, for you and for most people who are trying to resolve their procrastination, it's actually much more of a state issue. What do I mean by state? By state, I mean your emotional state. When you are in the moment that you need to take action, but you don't take the action, it is much more of a state problem than anything else. It's actually not you, but it's your emotions that are running in that moment. And it's your very emotions that leads you to go and scroll on content or go and do an action that you're not supposed to be doing. It's your emotions that when you need to go to the gym that actually guide you towards eating food and staying inside, like the more comfortable option. In all of these different cases, it's your emotions that guide you towards taking the more pleasurable option instead of the painful option. And this applies at all levels. It applies to a beginner who needs to take action towards building a business or going to the gym, all the way to advanced levels. And I have friends who are multimillionaires, and I deal with this issue as well, where we have more comfortable options in terms of the decisions that we can make in our businesses. And so even if you are working all day, in the actual decisions that you're choosing, like what you want to work on, there are more painful options that we end up procrastinating by doing easier options. And so this works at every level, and it's a state issue. Now, how do we fix this? I've been investigating this problem very deeply because my whole app is based on this problem and using AI as an interface in order to resolve it. But I've also investigated it through my own internal practices. I've meditated over 2,000 times in the last 5 years. I've gotten really obsessed with this habit. And I didn't turn into like a monk who lives in the mountains or like go to that extreme end. But what I did become is a lot more aware of all the mental processes that are going on, or just everything that's going on in my conscious field. And what this allowed me to do is really identify in these specific moments when I wasn't taking the action I needed to take, why I wasn't taking the action I needed to take. Like the meditation, it really built this awareness gap between me and the thing that was distracting me, or even the emotion itself that was pulling me. I started to notice all of these cravings, these desires, these just being pulled to different directions based on how I was feeling. And this level of awareness allowed me to have enough of a gap to actually see the process and then start to take an intervention, to do something else in that moment of that emotion. And that's exactly the process that I want to build out for you. Because step one of all of this is building awareness around the moments in which you take a different action than the one you want to do. And so most people just tell themselves like, oh, I'm not a disciplined person, that's why I'm not working. I'm not a disciplined person, and that's why I don't go to the gym consistently. But what they don't do, which I need you to do right now, is investigate a bit deeper than that. What is the specific moment in which you betray yourself? Is it every day after school or after work when you need to go to the gym and you feel really overwhelmed, you feel tired, you feel all of these things, and that makes you not go to the gym? Is it in that moment after work when you need to work on the online business thing for a few hours before you go to bed? Is it then that you don't really feel like it? And so you choose to relax and scroll on content or watch TV. Like, these are all fair options. Like, I don't want you to judge yourself in this process. There's actually a lot of bad side effects that happens when you judge yourself for some of the more pleasurable things that we do. But if you can identify this specific moment in which you betray yourself, in which you procrastinate the actual action, then we can move on to the next step of this, which is to choose a different reaction. But obviously, that's basically the discipline grit thing, right? Like, oh, just, go to the gym, just work on the business, right? But what I want you to do instead is actually build a bit of awareness in that moment. So instead of just going to the gym instead of just relaxing on the couch, eating the bad food, like in that specific moment, instead of, telling yourself that you have to go do the hard thing, and then instead, usually you would go sit on the couch or do something else, I want you to actually regulate your state in that moment. Because if you can return back to a centered, grounded state in that moment, then your inner intelligence, the actual part of you that wants to do that hard thing, that wanted to build the online business, that wanted to go and be a healthy person, that part of you is able to come back online. And that part of you is going to take that action. And so your job in that moment is no longer to go do the hard thing. Your job in that moment is to actually regulate and come back to center. So how can you do this? Well, there's actually many different methods, and I'm not going to say that my method does this and there's no other methods. Like, you probably will find that online as you keep exploring this area, but I'll just give you a few. Like, one is just meditating. Like, that's an easy one. Sitting, focusing on the sensation of your breathing, setting a timer for 5 minutes. You can also do a guided breath work. There's tons of great YouTubers on this. I love Breathe with Sandy. He's like a goat, has like 500 plus guided breath works on YouTube, and you can just look them up. You could try one of those. You could do Wim Hof, and he has a really cool breathwork technique. You could also not even be in this realm of breathing, but you could journal. This is something that I've done over the last few years, and I'm very used to it now. And it's in that moment you actually write out exactly what's going on, like how you feel, and you get ruthlessly honest about how you feel, about why you don't want to do the thing, about what you'd rather do instead. I find that externalizing this moment, this state, is a great method to actually expunge, get rid of that negative state that you're in and return back to that grounded piece. And you could also go exercise. You could call up a friend. I really like calling up friends. I think this is an underrated one. I've been doing it a lot whenever I feel just slightly off or I don't feel like working on something. I'll like call my family or I'll call some friends. I live in Bali, and so I'll call some people in the US, like some old friends, and just talk to them for a bit. And by the time I'm off the phone, I'm already like up and I'm moving. Like, I tend to feel very grounded after I talk to certain people. Whatever you choose, just choose something and experiment with using that in that specific moment that you would normally go and scroll or normally go and procrastinate the thing that you want to be doing. Just this little intervention step will make it so much easier to actually take action on the things you want to do, because there is a part of you, when you're motivated, there is a part of you that wants to take that action. And so you just have to return back to that version of yourself that is motivated in that specific moment. And so try this out for a bit, and I have a ton of other sort of tips and advice on resolving procrastination and taking action. And so if that's something that you're interested in, go down, hit the subscribe and like button, and watch this next video. Peace.